Solving by completing the square, B2. All right, so we already have the C has been moved, right? The first step is supposed to be to move the C, but I don't have a C. My C is already on the other side, so I'm fine there. I can move on to step 2. So I want to rewrite my equation. I have P squared minus 24P, and I'm going to leave a space for the correct C. On the right-hand side, I have 49 plus, and I'm leaving a space for the correct C because whatever I do to the left side, I must do to the right. That's the property of equality. I have to keep everything even. So now I need to find my B over 2, and I need to find my B over 2 squared. So my B is the number negative 24, right? Negative 24. So B over 2 is negative 24 over 2, which will give me negative 12. And I will hold on to that. Negative 24 divided by 2 is negative 12. Then my B divided by 2 squared. I already found the B divided by 2. It was right there. It was the negative 12. So this is going to be negative 12 squared. And negative 12 squared is 144. That 144 is what I'm going to put in both spots. That is my proper C. So 144 will get added to the left, and 144 will get added to the right. Now I want to rewrite my trinomial as a perfect square binomial. All right, so as a square binomial, P was the variable I was using this time, and then what's supposed to go here, what's supposed to go after your variable is your B divided by 2. So in this case, it was my negative 12. So I'm just going to put minus 12. The last example we did, it was a positive 10, so it said plus 10. This time it's a negative 12, so I'm just going to write minus 12. All right, this does not always have to be positive. This one does. My B divided by 2 squared, when I square it, that is the one that is always positive. What gets added to both sides is always positive. But inside of my parentheses here, it could be a negative or a positive. It just depends on what your B, your original B was. All right, over here, on the right-hand side, I'm just going to add these two up. So 49 plus 144 gives me 193. And then I need to solve for P because that's my variable here. So to get rid of this square, I need to take the square root. We'll take the square root. Now, unlike last problem, the square root of 193 is not a whole number. So I'm just going to leave it like that for now. I have P minus 12 equals, but I have to remember there's a plus or minus in front of this square root. Whatever number you square root is going to have a plus or minus in front of it because there are two answers because this P was to the second power. Everything is a quadratic, meaning it's to the second power. Its degree is a 2. All right, last step to get P all alone, I need to get rid of this minus 12, and I will do that by adding 12. So my P, we have two answers. I have my 12 plus the square root of 193, or I have P equals that 12 minus the square root of 193. All right? Because the square root had the plus or minus. Again, the 12 is what it is. There is not a positive 12 and a negative 12. That's a mistake that's made a lot. The 12 is what it is. Whatever it was when you moved it to the right side is going to keep that sign. The plus or minus only goes in front of whatever had been square rooted. Okay? It's only in front of whatever was square rooted. Now at this point, the directions had said we could write it as an integer. That was, if it was a whole number, which it was on B1. That's not the case here. A proper or improper fraction. I don't really have a fraction here. Or decimals rounded to the nearest hundredth. That's the route we're about to take. So at this point here, you would just put it into your calculator and round to the nearest hundredth. So that's 2 decimal places. When you add 12 plus the square root of 193 would give you 25.89 when rounded properly. And 12 minus the square root of 193 would give you a negative 1.89. A lot of times the endings of the decimals match, but they don't always. So don't be fooled by that. But that's our answer to B2. B3 is the star. That is for you to try. You will end up getting decimal answers like I did on B1, but give it a shot.